Oh, is it just the head? Oh! Oh! Oh, no! Hello and welcome back to Coffee on Korriban. Today we are reacting to Chapter 18 of The Mandalorian, or Season 3, Episode 2, however you prefer to say it. But either way, I hope this episode is a little bit more engaging than the first episode of this season. And not to say it was terrible, because it wasn't. And as we've talked about at length during the Monday night show, maybe I'm just spoiled with Andor and the quality storytelling we got, but it didn't really seem like a season premiere type of episode. It seemed like a filler middle of the season episode. There were some really cool parts in it and some questionable parts that I personally would not have put in there, but either way, it was fun. We got to see some explosions and some actions and some different other things as well. So I hope we get a little bit more of that in this episode, but I'm really here for the lore. I want to know more about Mandalorian culture, and based off the title of this episode, I think we're going to get a little bit more of that. And what are we going to find down there? Is he going to discover that this is a toxic, ruined wasteland? Or is it not toxic, and that's just more of the superstition that they've been spreading around their ranks? What else are we going to see down there? Any sacred pools, any sacred texts, or history of, maybe tracing back to Mandalore the Ultimate? That would be super fascinating. Maybe even run into a Mythosaur or two, or a Tyrantotech or whatever is down there. That would be interesting. And I also see that it is a little bit longer than last week's episode, which is, again, it makes me wonder what they were planning for that premiere episode of the season, because again, it didn't really feel like a season premiere, the first grand episode. Whereas, as Master Paul pointed out on our stream on this last Monday night, season 1 had the epic introduction of Grogu, and that was the plot twist at the end of the episode to catapult us into the rest of the season. And then season 2 had the reveal that Boba Fett was in fact still alive. Either way, they were grand entrances. They blew people's mind, and this last premiere episode last week, it just didn't really seem to do that. And again, that doesn't mean that it's a terrible episode, because it was fun. I had a lot of fun, and I know a lot of people really liked it, but the general consensus among you guys, the audience, the people that were there in the live chat on Monday, you guys really weren't feeling it much more than a 7. I saw a couple 8s in the chat, but that's really it. About 7 out of 10 is kind of the going rate for the Star Wars fans, at least in my corner of YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, if you like what you see here and this is your first time clicking on one of my videos, you can always subscribe. You guys know how to do that. I'm not going to beg. If you want to support the channel, that's the easiest way to do it, and I would greatly appreciate it. But whatever we get in this episode, I'm excited. I'm ready. You better be ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Put those parts back on the speeder. Paint them so they look different. Here you go.
This is so slimy. That was cool.
Memory circuit.
¿Dónde están los pod racers?
Make sure it's safe to breathe.
Okay. Hey, right back here, scaredy droid.
Alright, adventure. It's almost like we could have skipped the entire last episode. That's a little scary. Those little condensation trails behind it are so cool. It looks great. I mean, if nothing else, it looks really good. I like that R5's finally getting his moment to shine. I hope he doesn't get blown up. Uh-oh. It's getting a little scary. Oh, oh, oh.
Bo-Katan was right. Mandalore is not cursed.
The delivery of those lines felt really weird. Just gotta say. Bo-Katan was right. Mandalore is not cursed. The air isn't toxic.
How dare you open a spaceman's helmet on an uncharted planet?
My eyeballs could have been sucked out of their sockets. Oh boy. Oh, that's cool. It's the little things that just get me all hyped up. Wow. This is the first time we're seeing the city
Mines should be further
in
down.
live action. Alright, there's gotta be something big lurking in the shadows. Bigger than those green-eyed ape guys. Unless those are the green-eyed ape guys. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, transition was cool. The cool transition. Step on something big, just like a giant eyelid opening up. Oh, that's something big. What is that? It's like those spider droids on the beaches of Kashyyyk, but like way scarier and bigger. He's out of his pod? Why is he out of his pod? Unless it's just a Wally, it's a trash collector robot. That sound is cool. He's just cruising through the tunnels. Cool. Super cool. Yeah, he's like, yeah, we're going there. There they go. What's that look on her face? Is she's like stoked to be able to go back here? Oh, she's loving it. Because surely she saw the toxicity report. Cool.
If they survived, I wonder what else might have to.
Mythosaur. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, is it just the head? Oh! Oh!
I can't hear you. Are you trying?
Oh, no. It's not what we wanted. Yeah, she's a little bit better with the Darksaber. Okay, the crawling head was... Just what was that, though? That's what I want to know.
You've never eaten pog soup.
I love Pog. Okay, just gonna say, on our honeymoon, my wife and I survived the entire trip on Pog and Hawaiian kettle chips.
You should rest.
This
Cool.
looks much older.
I want one.
From these legends that the skull signet was adopted and became the symbol of our planet.
Cool. Love it. I love it. Like I said, I wanted the Mandalore. That's that. There it is. Mythosaur.
I shall walk the way of the Mandalore.
Well, we know what happens with Mandalorian processions next to the edge of the water. There we go. Oh, this is like those cave diving videos. That's it. There it is. Jeez, there it is. Ooh. Okay. Give me a second to collect my thoughts. Alright, right off the bat, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. I actually really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. So, not on the same scale as Andor, because if I was rating this on the scale of Andor or Star Wars all in general, this would probably be a 7. But, in terms of The Mandalorian, and assuming that I'm applying the same scale to the other 2 seasons as well, I gotta give this a 9. That was excellent. And like I said earlier, the Mandalore is what I was hoping to get out of this show. A little bit of history, that's what we got in this episode. It was terrifying, the head crawly creature. Oh my goodness. I really wish I knew what that was, aside from creepy guy down in the mines, but that was intense and terrifying. The green-eyed ape monkey yeti guys were interesting. Didn't really care for them a whole lot. They weren't really terrifying because they got taken out so easily multiple times. Even Grogu had no trouble just, pushing them back. There was a lot of little things in this episode that just Oh, yeah, little things like the little screen transition where, you know, the circle from the middle, the screen wipe, the jumping off the edge and igniting their jetpacks, just something really cool about that. Even to the way when they blasted out of the water just right here after they saw the Mythosaur, how they didn't land soft as I've seen some landings be from like the stunts in this show before. They kind of landed and hit their head, and there was the sound of the Beskar helmet against the stone. Little things like that all really built up to just make this episode stand out, and it really did. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I didn't think I was going to after the first episode, what we got last week, and then also talking to a few people and saying, don't spoil it for me, but what did you think? And they kind of all said that they didn't really care for it, at least the people that I spoke to in person about this. But I loved it, this episode. It was great. A couple little dialogue things. Mando's not my favorite, and it just seems like we need a cohesive plot still so far. But as far as the actual material we got in this episode, I mean, that was great. I think another thing we can take away from this, if you are either participating in a Mandalorian ritual, or you are inside or outside of a mine, there's probably something waiting for you in the water. Mando knows. Frodo knows. Now you knows. I definitely want to go back and rewatch this episode, which is more than I can say for the first episode, but I do want to go back and watch this and pick out all those little details and really see what I missed as far as the little tidbits of lore and extra details, because I know there's a lot more there than I got on this first watching. But it was fun. And like I said during the last Monday night's live show, I'm not expecting ultra high caliber storytelling, drama, character development, cinematography like we got in Andor. It's not that type of show. I'm not expecting that. I just want to have fun. And this episode really did deliver on that. So thank you very much for watching this. Oh, and speaking of live shows, if you want an extra special shout out on this next week's live show, go ahead and comment down below the secret keyword, which this week is Creeperhead, because that guy was a Creeperhead. I don't know what else to say, but go ahead and comment down below Creeperhead, and you will get an extra special shout out in this next Monday night's live show. But that'll do it for the video. If you've made it this far and you've been here from the very beginning, I really appreciate your time. May the stash be with you, and I will see you wherever I happen to see you in the galaxy.
My eyeballs could have been sucked from their sockets.